Hey, I'm Richard Marx, and I'm here at Amoeba Records, and we're gonna play What's in My Bag.
Don't even make a sound, or turn your mind around. There is only now for me and you.
As soon as I walked in, it was like I remembered being a kid in the record store, which, So I kind of went down memory lane. Donny Hathaway collection. Maybe my favorite singer of all time. He had such a tragic life. He had such a dark life. The pain and anguish came out in his voice. Didn't matter what he was singing. You put on a song for you by Donny Hathaway and you don't well up or get goosebumps, then you got no pulse.
And when my life is over, remember when we were together. We were alone and I was singing this song to you.
Okay, kind of in the soul vein again. Earth, Wind & Fire, I Am. This is my favorite album of all time. If I only have one album on the desert island, it's this. Even with Boogie Wonderland on it. I mean, that's my least favorite song on the album, but it's still pretty badass. But this has songs like In the Stone, After the Love Is Gone, an instrumental called Rock That, which was used as a theme to all kinds of sports shows when I was a kid. It's a perfect album, and I never get sick of it. And the only thing that would make this album better would be if September was on it. They put out a greatest hits record after this, and September was the single for the greatest hits record. I don't care if you are literally ready to pull the trigger, put on September. Forget Lithium, put on September and you'll feel a little better. The Tubes' Completion Backward Principle. I bought this record in 1981, I think. I heard this song Talk to You Later on the radio, and I loved it because it had really cool chord changes and it was a little more sophisticated than some of the rock that I was listening to at the time. When I moved to LA about a year later, they were making their follow-up album called Outside Inside. And I, through a weird series of circumstances, I got to go to the recording studio where they were working. And the first guy I met was the lead singer, whose name is Fee Waybill. And Fee Waybill is the godfather to my kids and my lifelong best friend. And I met him in that studio that day. We've written, I don't know, 30 songs together, but it all started with this album, and they have a really great back catalog, so you should check out The Tubes. So, by Peter Gabriel. I know I was like so matter-of-fact when I said about Earth, Wind & Fire, this would be Sophie's Choice right here. And the first track on here is Red Rain. That's maybe the most powerfully emotional song I can think of for me.
It's so hard to lay down and all of this rain coming down. Rain is pouring down.
The Tuesday that this album came out, I stood for about 2 hours in the morning to be the first one to get in there before they sold out of it. Because back then, you couldn't just click the shit. You had to go and buy it. Paul Simon's Still Crazy after all these years. This is the album that made me want to be a songwriter. So one day when I was 12 or 13, my dad asked me to come in his music room office where he composed the music for commercials and jingles. That was his career. He said, I want to play you something. And he played me this album, and it changed my life. This is the album that made me want to make up shit of my own and create my own songs. So thank you, Paul Simon, for making this album.
And I ain't no fool for love songs that whisper in my ears. Still crazy after all these years.
Okay, so Carly Simon, this is an album called Playing Possum, and I grabbed the vinyl because I owned this. God knows where it is now. Carly Simon's an amazing songwriter and artist, but Carly Simon got me through puberty. More importantly, her album covers got me through puberty. I mean, that's a really cute back cover, right? But that, let me paint the picture for you. Do you know how old I was when this album came out? I was 12. And I have since met Carly Simon, and I can't quite look her in the eye. Morgan Page. You know, I'm really into EDM the last couple of years, and one of the artists that got me into EDM is Morgan Page. This is also a really great album that has a killer song called In the Air.
To look the other way, to get what you want. Throw out your troubles, find your song. 'Cause there's a change in the air.
And then this, our last item, Elvis, the '68 special comeback soundtrack. Okay, this is the first album I ever bought with my own money. I was a huge fan. I would come home from school and watch Elvis movies whenever they would be on in the afternoon, which I thought were like, you know, Saving Private Ryan quality at the time. Schindler's List, Speedway. But this album I got about 3 years after it came out, so I was like 8, and it's still an amazing album. He does all the old, like, Sun Records songs. Baby, What Do You Want Me to Do? And he does One Night With You, which is killer. And then there's the big production numbers, like If I Can Dream and Memories. And again, I don't know where that is either, so now I have it again. So it's my trip down memory lane here at Amoeba Records.
Thank you so much for talking with us.
Yeah, it's fun.
So one last time to